Sahneye MMA Almanya Yönetim Kurulu Başkanı Mark Wachter, SNAP'ten Genel Müdürü Goetz Trillhaas, Unilever'den Beslenme Genel Müdürü Jochanan Senf ve MMA Almanya Ülke Direktörü Elvin Altun Noyan'ı davet ediyorum. Hi. Hi again. Hello, hi again. Hoş geldin.
Merhaba, nasılsınız? Şimdi 3 kişi var, onun için İngilizceye geçeceğiz gene. Farklı bir alternatifimiz yok maalesef. Ama çok rahatlar. İngilizceleri de bayağı gidiyor, rahat gidiyor değil mi?
What?
I said really good things about all of you.
Oh, fantastic.
So, hi everyone,
expect anything
I'm
else.
Elvin Altun. I'm the MMA Germany Country Director, and I'm here with 3 marketing celebrities from Germany with us. One of them has already been here, it's his second time. It's Goetz Trillhaas. He is also the Managing Director of SNAP in German-speaking countries. Welcome again.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jochanan. Did I say Goetz Trillhaas or Goetz Senf?
Goetz
Trillhaas.
Trillhaas. Yeah, that's correct.
We have Jochanan Senf, who is the General Manager for Unilever Nutrition DACH. And last but not least, we have our MMA Germany Chairman, Mark Wachter, who...
Still on operation? Huh? Yeah. 1, 2? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
perfect.
can hear me, yeah.
So,
Awesome.
No, but it's...
Mark is our chairman, MMA Germany chairman, but also he's a consultant. So he's been consulting companies for technology for a very long time, all over the world, globally. So I would say we have the brand side, technology side, and the industry association consulting part, all of it together. And today we will be talking about emerging technologies and augmented marketer and what it means to be a marketer in this new era. So I'd like to start with Goetz to set the scene for emerging technologies. We have already, how many of you have watched his session?
Oh.
So, half and half,
Thank you for coming.
yeah. So for the ones that weren't here, Goetz had a session earlier today, this morning, and he was talking about the emerging technologies from a SNAP perspective. So we would like to hear about your perspective from SNAP MMA Germany about how you see the emerging technologies coming in.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me again. It's a big pleasure, and it's lovely to see so many nice faces here. Everyone is interested, and there is hunger for innovation. This is what I said already in my first message, and I think it really is the case. What are emerging technologies? I think we have seen them all today, and it is interesting how technologies are changing and what a fast pace, in what kind of fast-paced environment we all have to operate. And I think what the gentleman just said about his dashboard for the retail marketing, this is super interesting. So number one, everything is becoming digital. And follow the eyeballs, especially you as marketeers. You need to understand that the digital field is extremely important, and I'm pretty sure I would not lie that most of your budgets are not going in traditional media anymore. They're going into the digital field. So there is a shift, and you cannot ignore this anymore. Number one. Number two, last year we all talked about metaverse. I'm pretty sure this year this is not the big topic anymore, but it is machine learning, it is artificial intelligence, and everything we are doing is already connected with artificial intelligence. So just the consumer got the tool artificial intelligence in the hand. But if you use Google and Google Maps and Snap and all those platforms. There is artificial intelligence already in these tools integrated for years and years and years. So it is not something that just came in the last year. It is something that is already here, but now it gets into the hand of the consumers. And I think this is very important. Therefore, for me, artificial intelligence is something that will stay. And even next year, we will talk about this technology. And this is not something that goes away. And when we go a little bit more granular, I would say there are three big trends. Number one, marketing gets more and more personalized. It is super important to reach the right audience, and the tools are out there. Coming back to artificial intelligence, all these MarTech solutions, they help you to reach the right audience. This is something that is super crucial, that you're not spreading your advertisement, that you need to be crystal clear and very focused on where you go. Number two, and the gentleman just shared an example, augmented reality is something that is relevant for us. So we are connecting our phone with what we are doing, and it enables us. This is a very, very strong tool, and this is just the beginning of it. And I'm pretty sure sooner or later we will all have contact lenses, we will wear glasses, and the world will be augmented. So these are 2, 3 technologies that I see will be very present in the future, and every advertiser, every marketeer need to have an answer and need to try it out.
Yeah. Sorry, thank you for that. So Mark, you travel a lot, and you do a lot of business in Asia, China. I mean, we've been listening to all these great minds talking about regenerative AI, artificial intelligence, digital marketing. From an Asian perspective, is there anything else that you would like to add on in addition to what we've been talking about?
Shall I first explain why we called this session Augmented Marketer?
If you would like,
Yeah?
yes. So he's the founder.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
And thank you, by the way, she looks awesome, huh? Elvin? Can you
Yeah.
clap for Elvin? She's almost jumping into the gala session.
Yeah.
So first thing, we called that session here Augmented Marketer because I don't know who is a marketer, a brand, not creative, not agency. Who is a marketer here in this room? 2, 3, 4, 5? Don't be shy. Okay. If you listened carefully this morning about all those tools conquering your desk, yeah? Whether it's Gen AI, maybe some immersive technology in the metaverse, whether it's data and machine learning, whatever, I think you all agree that you as a marketer need to augment as well. Either you augment or you're getting augmented. And this is why we called that session here Augmented Marketer, because the other fraction, and whoever is now in the agency business, your life, see, he's in the agency business, your life will change dramatically. Creative procedure, you showed an example. Media planning, everything is kind of shook up. And so if you think you are here in a kind of turbulent area, just for a second, go into Asia, and now I come to your question, or China or India, who has been in the last 5 to 10 years in Asia? Anybody of you?
It's emotional.
That's not a good sign, guys. Because if you really want to understand what augmentation in technology means and what emerging technology means, you need to dive into Asia, you need to dive into those mobile-only markets. Turkey, for us, Europeans always have been this mobile-first role model. You guys were always ahead of Germany, UK, whatever, in terms of using mobile phones. But if you go into China or India or Indonesia, they completely leapfrogged desktop. They only work on mobile. And so augmented marketing and emerging technology only happens here. And now creeps into AR and VR and goggles and whatever. But you need to dive into Asia if you want to understand where the future lies. 10 years ago, we all went to Silicon Valley. Now you go to Delhi and Shenzhen. And this is really key, I think, for people even sitting here. Go out of your bubble and kind of get new, fresh inputs from Asia.
Are there any tactics for marketing that you would
Tactics? Well,
from Asia?
Yeah, first we'll go there, but if you can't go there, of course, whatever you see currently conquering global markets like Chinese brands like TikTok, you all know them, but you probably heard of Shein, you probably heard of Temu, you probably heard of Neo. They all are incubated in China. They all kind of live from technology stack onwards, and they are kind of grilled and tested to best customer experience in a population of 1.4 billion. So if you go live in China and you survive the Chinese market and then go abroad, you have this kind of emerging technology gene always in you. And so this is why I said, yeah, you need to understand those brands and how they go forward. Yeah?
And think more
Yeah,
about
think
probably.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So now to Jochanan. So I heard that you operate in 190 cities,
No,
right?
countries.
Countries. And you were talking about, like in the earlier session, about this first strategy. Can you talk a little bit about that for those that weren't here?
Yeah. So what we have done is we've combined those three, I would say, functions that all come together to create a digital consumer or shopper journey. So that's digital commerce, digital marketing, and media. And I think what we do now with that is to really give consumers and shoppers a consistent experience in the way it looks, using our brands, our DBAs of the brands, and really from all the way first, top of mind and mental availability to down, clicking and converting it into a cart, because that is what's happening in the omni-channel space as such. And we can now do this at scale. So that's the beauty of it, yeah.
And so when you choose technology,
Yeah.
so to begin with, is there a Unilever mindset that, you usually have some strategies? How you look at technologies, how you choose technologies? Do you do it on your own? I know you have partners and agencies. Is there a specific strategy for that, for implementing new technologies?
Yeah, so it's a good one. And I think what I talked about is how we, play with content and do predictive modeling around this as well. But I think the next level up is, and I highlighted this as well, the big opportunity for marketeers is to bring Gen AI in. Because you could do things more consistent and at scale at lower cost. I mean, that's what you would want in the end, than still reaching your KPIs. And the way we do this is, one, of course, partnering with industry leaders. So the first one, of course, going out was ChatGPT, but now you see, well, you can put a board up with players starting to bring Gen AI tools to the party, but also internally. So we have a very strong capability to develop tools that are proprietary to Unilever. And the good thing about that is that we can also keep our proprietary confidential stuff in-house, because I think that is the bigger risk out there, is once you give away a lot of your confidential stuff into more open tools, you could also travel wider than just in our own world. So we've developed with our IOPS, what we would call IOPS center in Unilever, a tool called Samantha, where we basically could create and can create, through prompted inputs, Instagram posts for all of our brands. And you can really start to learn and optimize on how to get this right. And all of a sudden, this now moves from, normally briefing an agency, probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour per post, into 5 minutes of work with the same quality output, and actually upfront A/B tested. And I think that is, well, one of these examples where we say, like, we can do this in-house as well, just using these.
Augmented Marketer.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can go on for ages.
I can also ask a lot of questions, but I was wondering, are there any questions from the audience that you'd like to ask our speakers?
Maybe I can.
Any attendees, or should I? Because usually after the speeches, people come
Maybe
up.
what I can add to. Nobody? No?
I can't really say no.
What Jochanan just mentioned, what's really challenging for brands like Unilever now is this online to offline integration. Yeah? And of course, consumer goods are probably still more bought offline.
Yeah.
Yeah? 90% maybe, or 80, I don't know. But for other brands like shoe manufacturers, whatever, it's vice versa. And so what you can see in Asia is how they do that. And companies like Alibaba invented this kind of really nice integration of offline and online world through technology. Yeah? So that's really also something.
But I mean, what is it that you see that they're doing differently compared to us?
It's it's just probably differently, I don't know. Of course, you can't compare Chinese market culturally to any other market in the world because it's, we always call it Galapagos Island, yeah? They have their own technology stack, they have their own kind of behavior. What we would perceive here as surveillance, they just accept. So visual recognition is all over, and so this is why it also goes into consumer products. So you pay with your face, you check in into the train with your face. Here, or at least in Germany, we would say, oh, what's that? Yeah?
Yeah.
On that online to offline thing, Alibaba was the first one who launched a food chain, a fresh food chain, HelloFresh, and brought the online shoppers into the real world and connected this. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then vice versa, augmented reality and scanning the real world brings them back to the online world. Yeah? It's also very interesting.
So I mean, it's probably same with Snap. You guys do a lot of online, offline, augmented, AR, VR stuff, which, I mean, Germany is probably one of the leading countries of Snap, I'm assuming, at least in the European region. Like when you develop new features, how do brands approach to it? Like, do you do it by, like, do you directly work with brands? Or, because I know we don't have, at least in Turkey, we don't have Snap representation. How would, like, anyone from the audience, if they wanted to do something with you guys, what's the way to go forward?
Of course, on one hand, our users are adapting to new technologies, and this is absolutely key. And usually it starts with a playing factor, so it needs to be fun, it needs to be engaging. This is the moment when we create demand. On the other hand, it is companies that are adjusting or applying to technologies. What we have realized and have seen during pandemic times, in Germany for months and months our shops were closed. So retailers were closed, car dealers were closed. Industries like the cosmetic industry, you need to try out what you want to buy. And all these companies, basically, they suddenly realized that augmented reality is a way to basically reach their consumers. And the car dealers, they started scanning their cars, so you could virtually sit in a car because you don't want to buy a car without sitting in the car. The lipstick needs to be tried on. The retailers, for them, it is a huge thing to basically make every clothes, pants, pullovers, sweaters be wearable, and you don't need to go in a store anymore, you can buy them virtually. And for example, some of the largest retailers in Germany, by 2025, they want all of their products to be AR ready. So when you're on their website, you can try on all their clothes virtually, and this is their plan for the next 2 years. We are the market leader on this augmented reality, but of course we need to help them. We need to consult them, we need to support them on basically doing this shift. But everything starts with the demand. If the consumers are not using it, it is not a product for retailers, for example.
So there's a balance between demand and fun that makes it more sustainable from your end.
Absolutely.
So
there's also a big difference to Asia is also that in Asia you have those super apps, and everyone here in the Western world tried to do a super app, all failed. Meta failed, yeah? They unbundled everything again. And those super apps, you just not use it only to order a taxi or to pay or whatever in a restaurant. You shop like hell in those super apps. And you see this trend now coming up in TikTok and Snap, I would guess. I'm not a Snap user, sorry. But you can buy, yeah, but at least in TikTok you can buy on all those social media platforms. And so that's certainly something which also comes from Asia. Live streaming, yeah, this whole shopping culture. It's a big wave coming over. I would doubt that we ever get a super app in the Western Hemisphere. It's too fragmented.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying, but we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes. So, Jochanan, my last question to you, if you were to give advice for your Unilever team, for reaching out to trying new technology, new campaigns, what would it be?
No, I mean, that follows up on, I would really start to exploit and explore what is available from a Gen AI perspective. So do start to put content out, see how it reaches in reality, because you do testing up front and you get a read on it. But how does it work in reality as such? And see how this also scales over channels and audiences, because it really allows you to be more contextual, seasonal, more hyper-targeted as such. So experiment with it. You have to do all of that work to get acquainted to it, and then start to see like what is in and what does move us to the next, and what is still the art and creation of being a marketeer, because I'm quite sure as well that whilst there's lots of tools available, in the end it starts with strong creativity, insights, things that are things that we do as marketeers, which is part of the human set of skills as such. But experiment, I think that would be my biggest advice. Yeah.
Okay. So you would say experiments. Yours would be demand and make it fun, or
Create demand. Everything
everything
starts on the
starts
demand
from
side.
demand.
Exactly.
And from an Asian point of view, if you were to advise on marketeers on the approach,
I can't speak for the Asians. I would just, I just would really recommend you guys to go over to Asia and to see what China's speed means and see how this tech ecosystem works. Go into Southeast Asia, go into India, start somewhere, but kind of get the inspiration you got from the US, like we all in Europe, 10, 20 years ago, start to get it from Asia now.
I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, we have 2 more minutes. So our speakers are with us till the gala, I think. So if you have any questions, by all means, they're here. And I'm also here with the Turkish team. So if you have any questions about the MMA Germany, Turkey, and thank you all for listening to us. Teşekkür ederiz. Çok
you.
mersi.
Thank you.